Hello lovely people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video I am going to be making this sherry top. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've posted this top a few times. So we're going to be making this top. I love this top because it covers your whole bust area, and some of the people don't like to show their bust, so this is the top for you. And I'm going to be showing you how to make this top. I've made it in yellow, mango yellow, and this royal blue. So I'm going to be making it in maroon. So let's see how that comes out. So what you're going to need for this project is, of course, you're going to need yarn, and you're going to need a hook. And for today's video I am going to be using a 4mm hook, and you're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need some stitch markers. So let's get into the video. So what you need to do to start the video is make a slip stitch. I am just looking for my end. Oh, here it is. Okay, so what you need to do is make a slip stitch like that, and then you're going to make a chain of 30. So that is a chain of 30, but you're going to make 30 plus 2, and that is going to act like the foundation of your first row. So you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook and go into the third stitch from the hook. So 1 2 1 2 and 3. We're going to make a double crochet on the third stitch from your hook. So basically what a double crochet is, you wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the next stitch or space, go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, let me do it a little slower for you guys. Like that. You wrap your yarn, go into the next stitch, go through 2 and go through 2. So you're going to do this all the way until you get to the end. That is going to be your first row of double crochet. So almost done, and in the, don't forget the last, oh sorry, I made 2 of them in one stitch. There you go. So that is going to be your first row of double crochet, and that's how your work should look like at this point. So what you're going to do when you get to this part is you're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and start working your way back to this point. So you're still going to use a double crochet, and what I do is, I know there's some people who don't go into this first stitch. Personally I do, so make sure you go into that first stitch with a double crochet. Make sure you go into every stitch with a double crochet. That. So you're going to continue making double crochets all the way until you get to the end. So make sure you make double crochets all the way until you get to the end of this row, and I'll meet you guys when I get to this end. So once you get to the end, this is the second row. This is going to be your work for 2 rows. You're going to chain 2 again and turn your work around and go back all the way to this end. So basically you're going to be working a double crochet until you get the amount of rows that you need. Personally for me, I made 60 rows of double crochet. Yeah, I know these are a lot, but you're going to see why we need a lot of space, or this top has to be very long because you're going to make it smaller by making those colors. So I made a tube of 60 rows of double crochet. Yeah, 60 rows of double crochet. You can decide to make less if you want, or you can decide to make more. But if you're a big person, you're going to have to make more rows. If you're a smaller person, you're going to maybe just reduce a little bit, but not a lot. Maybe you can make 50 rows. Anyway, so this is how the tube looks, and now I'm going to be showing you how to go to the next step. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make, this is these covers that I'm talking about here. So I'm going to show you how to make this. Now you need a long tube. Like I said, you need this part to be long enough because of what the next step that we're going to make. So once you get to the end of your 60 rows, what you're going to do is chain 1 and then go into that first row with a single stitch crochet, and then you're going to skip the second row and you're going to go into the third row, the single stitch crochet, then you're going to skip the other row, then go into this other row with a single stitch crochet. I hope you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so skip one, go into the next one with a single stitch crochet, skip one, go into the next one, skip one row, go into the next one. So at the end of this, you're going to only use 30 rows, not the 60 rows. So you see why we need to make a long thing. So you're going to do that all the way until you get to the end. Got confused. And there you go. Now you're at the end of the one side of the top. Now here you can make like 2 double crochets, I mean 2 single crochets, sorry. So at the end, this is how your top will be looking like from the top. Not making a lot of sense here. So the next thing you're going to do is chain 1 and make single stitch crochet all the way down. make sure you go into every stitch and make a single stitch crochet. There you go. So we made a single stitch crochet downward so that we can start working on this other side. This other side, the same thing we did on this side, we're going to do on this side. So you're going to be making so we're going to work on this other side, the same thing we did on this side. So I'll go into the first row with a single stitch crochet, and then you're going to skip the next one and go into the other one, the third one. Skip the next one, go into the third one, like that. Skip this, go into this. So we're going to work like this all the way until we get to the end. Sorry. Well, now you're at the end, make 2 single crochets, and then now you're going to have this. It's messy, I know. So now you can just work through this like that. There you go. Now it looks nice. So now this is going to be the front area. You have to measure it. You put it against your bust and see if it's going to fit you. Mine does fit properly. So the next thing you're going to be working on is working on the back side. So this side, this part and this part. So we need this part. That's what we're going to be working. And the back side of the top looks like this. So for a size small or a size medium, you're going to have to make 10 rows on each side. If you're a little bigger than that, I think you're going to add more rows, maybe make 13 rows on each side or 15 rows on each side, depending on, your size. So let's start working on the back side. So for the back side, this is what we're going to do. We're going to continue working with double crochets. So you're going to chain 2 and start your first double crochet on the first stitch. You work your way down, but first take your stitch marker and place it on that first double crochet. This way you're going to remember where the first I told you we're going to make 10 rows, right? So it's going to be difficult to notice where your first row started if you don't put a stitch marker. So that is why I'm putting a stitch marker on this one, so that I can count this as row 1, and now I'm going to make 9 more rows. So I'm going to work on double crochets all the way until you get to the end. So once you get to the end, we're almost at the end. Once you get to the end of the first row, you're going to chain 2 again, turn your work around, but this time around we need this decrease thing. Okay, we're not going to make it just straight, we're going to decrease it a little bit so that you can make this shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip that first stitch and we're going to go into the other stitch. So we're going to skip the first one and go into the second one with a double crochet, and then you're going to work your way down. Remember, we're doing that only on one side, we're not doing on both sides. Yeah, so go down, don't forget you're doing a double crochet. So once you get to the end of the second row, sorry, I wanted to say the first row. Once you get to the end of this second row, you're going to remove the stitch marker so that you can get one double crochet into that space, and then you're going to return your stitch marker. Now you're not going to interrupt the stitch marker again, so chain 2, turn your work around, then continue working your way up. This time you're not skipping anything because this is going to be the this part. So this side you're not going to skip anything, you're only skipping this side, the top side, so don't skip the other side. Okay, so we're going to continue with the double crochet. I'll see you guys once I get to this side. So now that I have 3 stitches remaining, I wanted to show you how to decrease when you're coming from this side. So go into that one stitch with a double crochet. Then, since you have 2 remaining, this one and this one, you're going to skip this one and go into the last one. Okay, so you're going to skip, you have 2 chains. Let me show you that again. So we have the two chains remaining. So we have this and this 2 stitches here. So you're going to skip this one and go into this one with a double crochet like that, and you're going to chain 2, chain 2 and do the same when you're going back. Skip this one and go into this one like that, and then you're going to work your way down using a double crochet. So okay, now my 10th, my 9th row. I wanted to do the 10th row with you guys. So you're going to chain 2 and turn your work around, and then you're going to start working. You're going to skip the first one and go into the second one, and then you continue working with a double crochet all the way down. Until you get to the end. So we've been decreasing one stitch in every row. So by the end of it, this is what you should have, and as you can see, it's making this shape where I showed you in this other top, this part, as you can see. So this is what it's going to be looking like by now. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make the part where your strap goes through. So you're going to chain 2, turn your work around, then because this is the last stitch, you're going to chain 3 more, then you're going to skip 3 what do I call them, 3 stitches. So you're going to skip the first one. So basically we made a chain of 5, yeah. So you're going to skip the first one, the second one, and the third one, and go into the fourth one with a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2, then you're going to skip 3, 1 2 3, then go into the fourth one. Then you're going to chain 2, then you're going to skip 3, 1 2 3, and go into the the fourth one. Chain 2, 1 2 3 to the fourth one. Chain 2, 1 2 3 into the fourth one, and then chain 2, and this one we're going to just chain in the last one. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. We have 6 spaces. So what you're going to do is chain 1, turn your work around, then we're going to be single stitching in every, we're going to make 3 single stitch crochet in every space, and then we're going to make 1 in this double crochet space. So we're going to make 3 single stitch crochets, and then 1 single stitch crochet in this double crochet, then 3 single stitch crochets, then 1 like that, then 3, then 1, 3, so this is what your work will look like by now. Then 3, the end. Okay, so that is what it looks like now. Okay, remember this is where you put your stitch marker. Make sure you have 10, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. My rows are 10 rows. So the next thing you're going to do is, because we want to go and work on this other side, and we're going to make 10 rows like on this side, so you're going to single stitch crochet all the way until you get to this end. So chain 1 and then start single, make 2 single stitch crochet in that space, and then you're going to make 2 single crochets in every double crochet. Sorry, I got lost. You're going to make 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets in every double crochet. So now you can remove the stitch marker, you don't need it anymore. Then just continue single stitching all the way until you get to this side, and I'll see you guys once I get to this point. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you something. So on this side, do you remember the single stitch crochet we had made so that we can make these ruffles? That is where you're going to be putting another single stitch crochet, because this part, the part where we made the 10 rows, that's the only part where the single stitch crochet, the double stitch crochets don't have a single stitch crochet at the end. So you're going to insert 2 single stitch crochet in every double stitch crochet, the 10 rows only. When you get to this part, you're going to insert a single stitch crochet in every single stitch crochet that we had done before. I hope you get what I'm saying. Just wanted to tell you that. Okay, and we are back. So once you get to this point, you're going to just do the same thing that we did on this other side. You are going to chain 2, and then you're going to start double crochets all the way until you get to the top. And once you get to the top, you're going to start decreasing, and then you're just repeating whatever we did on this side. So you're going to double crochet. We're going to start with 30 double crochets because we did the tube was 30 chains. So we're going to do 30 double crochets. And my lighting is not that good, please bear with it. So insert your hook right there, your yarn right there, so that we can start working on the top side of your top. So we're going to be working with a half double crochet on this side. So half double crochet, basically you yarn over, insert your hook into the space and go through all 3. Okay, yarn over, insert your hook into the space and go through all 3. The next thing you're going to do is on these double crochets that we made, the 10 double crochets that we made, you're going to insert 2 half double crochets in every double crochet. So 1, 2, I hope you're getting my point. In one double crochet we're going to make 2 half double crochets, and then you're going to work all the way until you get to the top, not to the top, to this area where we have the gathers. So once you're done with the 10 we're done with the 10 rows of double crochet. We inserted a half double crochet in, 2 half double crochets in every one double crochet, sorry. So we're going to continue with half double crochet. To do is we're going to count the 10 rows that we did. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So you know this is where the 10 rows started, and then we're going to put a stitch marker on that. Okay, let me first do a double crochet on that part. I mean a half double crochet, sorry. 2 half double crochets. So we're going to put a stitch marker on that 10th row, and then we're going to continue with our half double crochets, but we're going to skip 10 rows. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to skip 10 more rows. This is the 10th one, for the back side. So you leave that, you start counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So on this 11th one, let me put another stitch marker right there. So on that 11th stitch, we are going to put a stitch marker right there. I will show you what we're going to do there. So you're going to continue with your half double crochets until you get to that next stitch marker. Sorry. So once you get to that stitch marker, remove the stitch marker and then make a half double crochet right there. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make the back strap right here. So you're going to skip 10 from where the 10 from the back is. You get, these are the 10 from the back, right? So from this stitch marker you're going to count 10 more rows inwards, and then on the 11th one you're going to make the back strap. So the back strap, I always make 150 chains, a chain of 150. So once I have a chain of 150, this is the chain. Yeah. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be going backwards. I'm going to be going down until the point where we started, and I'm going to be using a single stitch. So you go into the first, and then, okay, let me show you. You go into the next stitch, and then you go through 2. So you go inside, wrap your yarn around, come out of it, then go through 2. So that is what you're going to be doing. The reason I'm doing a single stitch crochet on the strap is because I don't want it to be so thin, then that way it's going to be so tight and then it's going to start hurting you. So I'm trying to make it a little bit thicker. So I'm going to be going down using a single stitch crochet all the way until I get to the part where I started. So I'll see you guys once I get there. So we got to the part where we started from, and that is going to be a chain. As you can see, I've made a long one because I rather have a long one. Anyway, so what we're going to do before you continue is we're going to remove this stitch marker, and we are going to count 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and we're going to, oh wait, confused. 1 2 3 4 5. So we're going to put this stitch marker right here, that is where the 10 rows start, and then we're going to count 10 more rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now we're going to put this other stitch marker right there. So we're going to continue working half double crochets. We're going to continue working half double crochets until we get to the stitch marker. So once you get to where the stitch marker is, you're going to make another chain of 150. Once you get to that point, you're going to make another chain of 150, and then you're going to work backwards with a single stitch crochet like we did on this side. So we are done with the upper side of the top. Let's just fix this. There you go. We have the straps. Now the only part remaining is this, the downside of the top, the part where it covers your stomach. So we're going, now it's up to you to decide if you want this as a crop top or you want it to be longer than a crop top, so that's totally up to you. So what we're going to do on this side is we're going to work the first row. They don't have a lot of yarn remaining, but we will still work with what we have. Going to make a slip stitch. Yeah. Going to make a slip stitch, insert your hook right there. Then you're going to pick one side that you're going to start with. Insert your hook right there. Then insert your slip stitch. And then now we're going to work half double crochets first all the way to this side. So I'm going to start with a half double crochet all the way. So these half double crochets are going to be the foundation of our double crochet stitches that we're going to make afterwards. So make half double crochets all the way until you get to this side, and remember where there is the double crochet spaces, make 2 half double crochets. Like on this side we did not do the single stitch crochets like we did on this side, so make sure you put 2 half double crochets in every double crochet space. So now when you get to the end with a half double crochet, chain 2 and turn your work around. So now this is the part where we're going to be working double crochets. So the part I'm talking about is this part right here. So we're going to make double crochets. Normally I make 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of double crochets and 1 of half double crochets, if you can see. So this is what I do, but you can decide to make it either longer or just leave it at where this is, and it's going to be a crop top. that's all up to you. Personally, I like it to get to like halfway my tummy, but yeah, anyway, let me work until where my yarn is going to end, because it's almost ending, and then I'll see you guys after that. So basically what you're going to do is just start making double crochets back and forth, double crochet in every, put one double crochet in every half double crochet stitch. So you're good, guys, we are done with the top, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial.